Welcome to the source. The source.
All right,
Source. Hey, get the source.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Happy Monday. Hope you all had a better weekend than I did. I want to give a special shout out to Cam Akers. For him to fumble the ball on the 1 yard line like that, it's just
Dirtbag.
that's how we're starting it off. Dude. Oh man. You have a play in Matthew's in the background saying he has a play in this game.
All right, let's get him.
Let's get him up there.
Might as well just run that, bring him up here.
All right,
Hit it.
And it makes you feel down.
The quickest play.
And it makes you feel down. And it makes you feel down. Down.
Yo. All right. We don't even have Matt on the screen to give his
absolutely chaotic intro to the episode. Let's get this guy on the screen.
I mean, he probably was not expecting a rapid fire home run pick like that.
Yeah, I mean, this guy's
that was kind
he
of
could have said it the
selfish of
entire
Matt.
time he was in the waiting room.
Kind of selfish of Matt.
Yeah.
To be fair, I hadn't looked at what game was on, so that one's on me. I'll take the L on that. Anyways, I have Carlos Santana. I got him at plus 525 at BetMGM to hit a home run. I should have checked to see what the current odds are, which I'll do when you guys are talking. Going up against a lefty, Matthew Boyd, who admittedly hasn't given up a lot of home rins, especially to righties. Boyd is a lefty. He's given up like 1 in 96 at-bats, which is admittedly not a lot. But looking at Fangraphs and the Stuff Plus metric, which measures like velocity, spin rate, movement, like none of his pitches are rated even above average. They're all like significantly below average. And Santana, number one, is a switch hitter who hits lefties significantly harder. ISO rate 314 against lefties, 143 against righties. And like he has just been annihilating left-handed pitching in the last month. 455 ISO rate, 53% hard hit rate in the last month off of lefties. The last 4 times he's made contact with the baseball from a lefty, it's left the bat at 98 miles per hour or faster. And 3 of the 4 have been 100 miles per hour or higher. Yesterday, hit a home run, 375-foot rocket. That was 103.9 miles per hour off the bat. And Boyd throws a four-seam fastball at his most frequent pitch 39% of the time. Santana smoked four-seam fastballs from lefties. So I like for him to go yard.
So yeah, he's been super hot too. He's got a hit in like 6 or 7 straight games or something. He had 3 hits yesterday.
Oh, wow.
He's been good.
Carlos Santana, home run, plus 550. Toast? Pablo in Cleveland?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just say it's a pass for me. I really want to bet Cleveland here. This price is extremely suspicious to me. I don't think anybody needs me to tell you that Pablo Lopez is better pitcher than Matthew Boyd. So I will give the starting pitching advantage to Minnesota. But besides that, I mean, Minnesota's not scoring runs. You can look at their last 10 games and you can see a 10 spot against the Angels, a 6 spot against the Angels, and then a random 9 spot on a Sunday after they had lost the previous 2 games and given up 20 runs themselves. I'm just not in a position where I trust this Twins offense at all. And Pablo Lopez, again, he's a right-handed pitcher, so yes, I expect him to pitch well against Cleveland. Cleveland's won their last couple games 2-0 and 6-1. I like to think that 6-1 game was probably a fluke more than anything. And then because previous to that, they didn't really do much against the Dodgers, and they scored some runs against the White Sox. But as you guys all know, the White Sox are the worst team in history, so it's really hard to put anything behind that. But again, Pablo Lopez, it should pitch well here today. I don't know. I'm just not there with this Twins team, and this price seems very suspicious to me. So it'd be Cleveland or pass for me. There's just no way I can bet Minnesota at this suspicious price.
Yeah, Pablo on the road in Cleveland. I can get with that. All right, next up. Jake Irvin. Oh, Grimace.
Mm-hmm.
Grimace loses a series. Heartbreaking. Do we get back on track here?
Especially with the Braves losing yesterday. That was a tough one.
The Braves won, though. Oh, you're saying the Braves lost and we could have taken advantage of it, yeah.
Yeah, Mets first 5 run line for me at -125. I think you might be able to get a little bit cheaper on DK, depending on it or what.
Against
and what have
Irvin?
you. Yeah, why wouldn't I not?
Wow, he blanked the Mets earlier in the year.
Yeah, and then the other 2 times he gave up 6 runs apiece. So, I mean, which one's more likely to happen here today? If Jake Irvin goes out here and gives you 8 shutout innings like he did one time against the Mets in his career, so be it for me. But we have this Mets team that I don't think anybody needs me to tell you guys that they're playing extremely well. They just played a Phillies series, which was, playoff-like baseball. And I mean, they looked fine. I think the bullpen let them down a little bit. There's no question about that. But we can take the bullpens out of this right now because I'm Mr. Overrated is Sean Manaea. He will always be that way to me. But he has been very, very impressive with his time with the Mets. None of his numbers are going to be you're not going to look at it and be like, oh my God, this guy is dominating. But he's consistently going out there and giving you 7 innings of 3-run baseball. Like any team in Major League Baseball would take that every single day of the week. Hello.
What was that? What was no? Hold on. What?
No. You can't get off that easy. I won't turn that back up there, big guy.
Dude, they couldn't hear it. For those Matt Modi's mic just started playing. What song was that? Matt?
Wait, they may still be able to hear him because he's still in the 3-person thing.
No, they can't hear him. Probably. So anyway, Cyberpunk Edge Runner just started playing. It's a really cool ringtone. Anyway, go ahead, Toast.
But yeah, I think that the Mets are in a really good spot here. Short travel spot from Philadelphia as well. Like I said, I think that the Mets have too many advantages here in the first 5. So like I said, I played Mets on the first 5 run line. So I will give you that the Nationals have started to hit, looks like their numbers versus lefties have been decent over the last 14 days, but they're really not touching any starters. The only starters that they touched was Max Fried, which I understand looks really good, but Beeks and Falter pitched well against them. Jordan Wicks pitched well against them. So, I mean, they have decent numbers, but it's nothing that really concerns me.
By the way, Toast, congrats. Went over 30 units on the MLB season. Nice work.
Thank you. Added a couple more yesterday, too.
Oh, yeah? Are we is 40 possible?
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
I'm just trying to hold on to the 30.
Exactly.
All right, Dodgers, Braves. Yamamoto against Max Fried. Oh, cool pitching matchup here. Braves short road dogs, -120.
I mean, I have 3 bets in this game, but they're all half units or 0.25. Dodgers first 5 run line, Dodgers money line, Dodgers run line for a -1.5.
Really my cursor has disappeared for the game. Good. He has 3 bets, so
it's all good. It don't even matter. Everybody, I mean, it's pretty simple. I'm betting the Dodgers every way I can, pretty much. I don't really trust Max Fried. I think that he has a very big name in the sport of baseball because of what he did in the last few years. But this year he's just been kind of average to me. And now we're getting a Dodgers team versus left-handed pitching that on the full season, 3rd in OPS, WRC plus, and WOBA over the 30 days and 14 days. They're all extremely well in that same 2-3 depending on however you want to look at it, and then you have Max Fried, who really struggles against left-handed bats, and who are going to be their lefties. Ohtani, Freeman, those are the only 2 lefties in that lineup. I will give you that. But at the same time, Teoscar Hernandez absolutely crushes left-handed pitching. Will Smith absolutely crushes left-handed pitching. Tommy Edman is finally starting to come around after his time in St. Louis, and he's really good at hitting left-handed pitching as well. So guys like Muncy and stuff like that, really not. But again, I don't really trust this Braves lineup. And now you're going to see Yamamoto on the mound, who I'll give you probably isn't going to go super deep into this game. But I still think that the Dodgers have a huge advantage here as we go later into it. So the Dodgers bullpen really rested and ready to go. Kopech went 23 yesterday, but he had the previous 3 or 4 days off. So he'll even be available if you want. Everybody else, didn't work or worked under 10 pitches yesterday. Again, we saw the Dodgers offense finally start to break out. I think we see a little bit more of that today. Not to mention the fact Iglesias and Jimenez, the top 2 arms in the Atlanta bullpen, both 2 of the last 3 days. And Dylan Lee also went 20 pitches or 19 yesterday as well. So the bigger arms in that Atlanta bullpen are a little bit compromised. They're probably available, give or take, most likely, but definitely not 100%. So definitely going to take advantage of this short price on the Dodgers. You're probably not going to get this price with the Dodgers very many times.
So Dodgers, what was that? First 5-run line, team total over, full game run line, or 4-game money line, run line?
Yeah.
So Dodgers 3 ways is what he's betting. The cursor will come back for Pop Beaver in a second. Next up. All right, next up is Detroit. We got a TBD in pitching.
Yeah, I think it's Reese Olson, Seth Lugo. That's who it probably is going to be.
Yeah,
Reese
that's what
Olson.
I'm showing. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see what the price is now. Now I'm curious. It would be Detroit or pass for me. Yeah.
Those odds can't be right either. Plus 124, minus 111.
No, that's right. Yeah.
What do you mean?
That's
That
right.
can't be right. You can't be right. How is because the Royals are sitting at a pick 'em, but the Tigers.
Oh, I didn't see the Royals. I'm sorry.
No. Yeah, it just should be. Royals are minus 145, minus 150. So the graphics wrong.
My bad. Yeah, it would be Detroit or pass for me. Again, the Royals have been treating me extremely well. And I'm not trying to make a case that I think that the Tigers are going to come up here and hit up Seth Lugo, who's been, again, had a little bit of a lull when he had a couple bad starts against Minnesota, Boston, and I think Philadelphia was the other one. But his last 3 starts against 3 teams that are probably going to make the playoffs in Houston, at home against Cleveland, and then on the road at Yankee Stadium, 21 innings, 2 runs, 25 strikeouts, no walks or 1 or 2 walks. I mean, he's been dominant. I don't love the spot for Kansas City coming home of a road trip where they just played the Yankees and they played really well first couple nights, and they kind of the bullpen kind of let them down, and then they take a couple easy ones against Pittsburgh, and now they come home and face a red hot Tigers team that, again, I just keep on talking about the Tigers finding ways to win games. I mean, Kiter Montero is pitching out of his mind right now. I mean, if you guys rewind 2 months ago, Kiter Montero was like the easiest fade in the books. And now he's pitching out of his mind. Again, I'm going to keep on preaching this. Tigers 7-3 their last 10, 13-7 their last 20, 20-10 their last 30. They're playing extremely good baseball right now. So to get them at a big plus price is the only way I look at it. I wouldn't lay this price with the Royals. I understand that Reese Olson is kind of very hit or miss, but there's a lot of talent there. And if he pitches somewhat decently tonight, that's going to give Detroit a pretty decent advantage, or a pretty decent chance to win this game. So Detroit's bullpen's a little bit compromised. Holton and Vest probably aren't available tonight. That's 2 of their top 4 arms. So that's why I'm not going to actually bet the Tigers. But there's just no way I could bet the Royals at this price.
Yeah, I like what you're saying. I was actually, until you said the bullpen thing, I was actually loading it up to bet that. Yeah,
me too. Yeah, trust me.
All right, let's move on to the next one.
If the Royals weren't like so hot, it would have been easier. But they're just
they were winning. Oakland on the road in Wrigley. Joey Estes. Modi wants to come on.
Let's do it.
He's got a home run for this one. Do you want to go first, Matt?
Yeah, it's really square. It's Brent Rooker. The guy's been on fire in the past week. It's plus 333 at BetMGM, which is a random price, or 320 at both Bet365 and DraftKings. Imanaga is a guy who's really good, but can be susceptible to giving up home runs. He's given up 14 home runs in the last 2 months. 13 of those 14 have been from his 4-seam fastball. And also 12 of them have come to, or 11 have come to right-handed hitters, 10 of those 11 off the 4-seam fastball, which is all to say gives up a lot of home runs to righties and off of his fastball. And Brent Rooker has been really good over the past week or so. He's got 5 piss missiles in the last week, which is the only player with that 5 number. Everybody else is tied for 4. Granted, like small sample size, all the numbers are going to be bunched together, but he's the only one with 5. And on the year, from 4-seam fastballs from left-handed pitching, he's just absolutely annihilated. 21% barrel rate, 51% hard hit rate, 47% fly ball rate. So he's like barreling it up, he's hitting it hard, and he's getting it in the air. And that's what Imanaga throws over 50% of the time. So I think Rooker hit one yesterday. I'm cool with that. I think he's going to hit another one today.
Someone said Toast is 12-2 this season, the day after a haircut. Someone fact check that shit.
Touche. I ended up passing this game. I think that Imanaga pitches well. I have no opinion on the Rooker home run. It wouldn't surprise me if he gave up one, but his last 3 starts at home have been pretty damn good. And this whole remember earlier in the season when we were like blindly taking the Athletics against left-handed pitching, that is deader than dead over the last couple weeks. Last 30 days, 26th in OPS, 26th in WOBA, 23rd in WRC plus, pretty much the same over the last 14 days. And then if you take a look, all these names, I mean, really good names on this list, but a lot of nothing burgers. Garrett Crochet, Framber Valdez, Scooble, Cody Bradford, Ashby, Blake Snell, Jose Quintana, all besides Quintana. Everybody pitched well against them here today. So over the last couple weeks. So I would expect Imanaga to pitch well. I think the Cubs win. Would I pay -200 to see it? Absolutely not. So I guess as far as the number concerns, they'd be Oakland or pass, but I do think that the Cubs win this game.
Someone says I can confirm Toast is 12-2 after a haircut. I never fade him off of a fresh cut.
It's not fresh. My wife does it, guys. There's nothing crazy.
Could have fooled me. Next up. Philly, Milwaukee, Savale, Ranger. Oh, Modai wants another one. Modai wants to step up to the plate again.
Yeah, it's another super square play. It's Bryce Harper. Finally got over the hump on Saturday when he hit 2. He's been hitting the ball so hard recently. It was like he got so unlucky.
So
like
hard.
one was called back. What'd you say?
Nothing. Go on. You're like, he's hitting the ball so hard. The way you phrased it was weird. That's all I'm saying. Go on.
I mean, we're talking dongs here. That's totally fair. Just been hitting rockets. Finally came through again 2 on Saturday. He'd been hitting a ton of doubles prior to that. Aaron Savale has been pitching better. Like on the year, he's got the second highest home run per 9 in the MLB at 1.61. In the last 2 months, that number is slightly down to 1.49, but that's still like not a bad number at all. He throws cutter 38% of the time. Bryce has crushed cutters. The last 5 times he's made contact from the pitch that's considered a cutter, 95 plus miles per hour each of the 5, with 2 of them being over 100 plus miles per hour off the bat. And it's the type of thing where, like, again, he'd been just crushing the ball. I'd been getting so unlucky. I don't even want to know what you're laughing at.
No, we're like 10 seconds behind, so they're now just seeing he hits it so hard. No, go on. I'm sorry to keep interrupting.
No, you're good. No, it's totally fine. I mean, my point basically is, like, he'd been, like, again, just tattooing the baseball, have been getting so unlucky without hitting home runs. Hit 2 on Saturday. I think, like, home runs we see all the time. Home runs come in waves. So I think with him, that's what's going to happen.
Bryce Harper home run plus 340 in Milwaukee. There's a retractable roof here, Toast.
I'm aware. Except that I'm pretty sure it's broke. It doesn't work. I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
I'm almost positive.
Typical Milwaukee.
I'm almost positive on that. I mean, but yeah. Phillies money line for me. Couple things here. Ranger Suarez, not a guy. I mean, has been pitching, I guess, average. He's in the average category for me. Would you relax? But the issue with me is that we're gonna get Ranger Suarez on the road, where it's a spot that I like to back him on the road against a whole bunch of righties in a lineup, and that's exactly what Milwaukee has. Milwaukee has 1, maybe 2 lefties in the lineup today. That new kid, Isaac or whatever his name is, Collins, is a switch hitter. So if he's in the lineup, they'll have 2 for sure. But the only other ones is Blake Perkins. So you're going to have 7, 8 righty bats in that lineup facing a Ranger Suarez I got a 113 whip and a 3.26 xFIP against righty bats this year. Not to mention the fact that the Brewers, absolutely terrible spot for them. They just came back. They're coming back from their West Coast road trip where they went to San Francisco and Arizona. Not to mention they scored 25 runs the last 2 nights. That's not going to keep coming. And they lost last night in extra innings, which brings me to the bullpens. Devin Williams had the last 2 nights off, but he did get up in both of those games. So really, Devin Williams has been up and moving around 6 of the last 7 days. So he's probably available, but I'm dead serious when I say I don't really know what to expect from Devin Williams. Yeah. And I'm
tailing this.
Yeah. Trevor McGill, Jared Koenig, Trevor McGill, 3 of the last 4 days. Jared Koenig, 29 pitches last night, 2 of the last 3 days. Aaron Ashby, 34 pitches last night. Pyamp, 2 of the last 3 days. Joe Ross, their long reliever, 50 pitches yesterday. The Milwaukee bullpen is just absolutely obliterated. Philly have everybody rested and available. The only thing that's not making this like a huge play for me is that I do feel like this line's like a little bit off. Like I thought Philly should be like in the 20s, minus 120 range. But I will give you that Milwaukee has been very good, and they're very good at home, 42-29 at home. So again, I think the Phillies win this game. I mean, the Milwaukee at home kind of brings me back to life a little bit. But yeah, I think I like the Phillies a lot today.
Now, returning from the West Coast road trip with no days off, the bullpen's a mess. And I don't know. I haven't been paying too close attention to it, but Savali was pitching well in this ballpark for a while, so I don't know how weird the line necessarily is.
Okay, yeah, I will give you that. And another thing that I will say, too, is that Milwaukee really is not scoring runs over their last 10 games. Take out those 2 games against Arizona, the previous 8 before that, 2-3, 2-3, 1-5, 2-2. And that was against Colorado and St. Louis and San Francisco. It's not like these are like peak pitching staffs. They're just getting, you know what I'm saying? So, again, I like the Phillies a lot today.
Yeah, I just tailed. I'm with it. Next game. Pirates, Cardinals. Oh, it's Skeens Day.
Yay.
Do you have the nutsack to fade them?
Yeah. But I want to wait to see what this line is, because it went from like 115 or 120 last night. I wanted to see what it did. I woke up, it was like 115. Now we're starting to see 120s pop up, 123 on Bet Rivers. So I'm just going to give it an hour. I will be placing a Cardinals money line bet. But I just want to make sure I can't get a better number than plus 120. We can use plus 120 for the sake of the show. But I just feel like you're going to get, 5 innings of Paul Skeens, maybe. I don't know that. I don't think they know that. I think it depends on the pitch count. But then we're going to get a whole bunch of shots at this Pirates bullpen. Not that like St. Louis is like some great team that I'm like super like trying to bet every night, but they're much better than the Pirates are. And not to mention the fact that Payante, is a guy that I trust. I actually don't mind backing him at all. Over his last 7 starts, he had 1 bad start in Milwaukee, and I think 1 bad start against Grimace. One of the New York teams he had a bad start against. But besides that, I know he pitched really well against the Royals, the Dodgers, the Padres, Minnesota. I expect Pallante to pitch well here today, not to mention the fact that he has a rested bullpen behind him. Only Kittredge pitched yesterday at 13 pitches. Romero went 3, so everybody else is good to go. And then, like I talked about in that Pittsburgh bullpen behind Paul Skeens, everybody worked yesterday, and they're already terrible. Chapman, Santana, Bednar worked 2 of the last back-to-back nights. Holderman, 23 pitches yesterday. Molzinski's went 2 of the last 3 nights. So I just don't understand how you could like logically lay minus 150, minus 140 or whatever that this Pirates team on the road, who are, keep in mind, are 33 and 38 on the year on the road. So again, I'm going to wait and see what this line does, but I'm going to be placing a small bet on the Cardinals money line at plus 120, probably 125 by the time it gets to the first pitch.
I don't like how they're just coming back from Toronto.
I know, but it was only 3 days.
Yeah, but it's like, whatever. No, I'm good. Skeens injects himself back into the Rookie of the Year discussion after today.
No, Cheerios going too nuts. Skeens is number 3. It is a long, hard fall from grace from Paul Skeens. Was number 1 for so long. Now he can't even get up to number 2. It's a shame. It really is.
You hate to see it. You absolutely hate to see it.
You hate it.
We're in Coors. Snakes on the road in Coors Field. Merrill Kelly is pitching against... Oh, no way, Sensatella. My boy's back. Where's he been, bro? Where's Sensatella been?
You know what? I'm so glad that you said that, because I've seen multiple people be like, who the hell is that? Who the hell is that?
You don't know Sensatella?
Like, man, like if you guys don't even know. But
Sensatella, bro. Man, I've had some good times with Sensatella.
Oh, yeah. All jokes aside, Snake's first 5 run line.
All jokes aside, no chance in hell am I betting Sensatella. Oh, shit.
He's been around for a while, but
anyway. A couple years ago, and I just pulled up his splits. A couple years ago, he wasn't bad in Coors Field. Like he was awful, but he like could somehow pitch well Coors Field.
And that's again, yes, that's just funny, because if people don't call you an MLB guy, but you should get credit for something like that. If you're knowing some people like Senzatella, you get credit in my book.
Yeah, I'm
So
not a
anyway.
baseball freak, but we do a daily show. We've been doing
I
it
know,
for
I'm
years,
just
so
saying,
I know
like,
who
people
fucking
wanna-
Senzatella is.
People like to run their mouth, but you know
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. So
Yeah,
that should
Senzatella's
give
my boy.
pretty credit. But yeah, it's me betting on Merrill Kelly against this Rockies. Merrill Kelly, his last 3 starts in Coors Field, 18 total innings. I think only 3 or 4 runs. Not to mention the fact that he's probably got 20 strikeouts in that time too. Merrill Kelly absolutely loves pitching up in elevation. I don't know what it is. And we're starting to see Merrill Kelly start to come back into form. His last couple starts, 11 total innings, only 5 runs. That Texas start, it was give or take for me, but he looked really, really good on the road in San Francisco. And again, like I said, I don't really put too much into that Texas start. It was more unlucky to me than anything. I watched that full game. And then Colorado, again, I don't think you guys need a reason for me to fade them. Senzatella hasn't pitched all year, and there's a reason for that. He's going to be making this first start. We all know how potent that Arizona offense is. They had one bad night over their last week or so, but besides that, 11-8, that one, 14-6, 12-5, literally putting up video game numbers. Again, it's minus 125 for this first 5 run line. The reason that I'm not playing the full game is because of the Arizona bullpen. Everybody has worked 2 of the last 3 nights for them because of the series that they had against the Brewers. So Martinez, Puck, Thompson, Ginkel, all those guys 2 of the last 3 nights. I just don't want to be in somewhat of a coin flip situation where one of those guys has a bad night and the Rockies hit a homer and then you lose a run line or something like that. So I just wanted to focus on Merrill Kelly, who I know that continues to pitch extremely well against the Rockies at home or on the road in his career. He hasn't given up more than 2 runs against them in the last 5 times he's seen them, including twice this year. I have no reason to believe it changes here tonight.
Well, let me tell you guys something. Senzatella, he hasn't been healthy, or he's been in the minor leagues. I don't know what he's been doing. He's not a friend of mine. But in 2022, the Rockies were 7-4 in his 11 home starts. You want to know what happened the last time Senzatella pitched in Coors Field? He beat this Arizona Diamondbacks team. Actually, he's won his last 2 home starts. Senzatella, man. Rockies up. Senzatella. He's back. What's the line on this? Where's the price? I can't find. Oh, plus 150? Yeah. I can get down with that.
Carlos Estevez saved that game the last time. Man, there are some names when you look at old box scores.
The last time when he beat the Diamondbacks in this ballpark in his last home start, Zach Davies was the starter.
Zach Davies. Yep. Carlos Estevez got the win. Cooper Hummel, Seth Beer. Oh, man. Everybody's playing that night.
Rockies money line betting it now.
I mean, are you serious? Are you dead serious?
Yeah, Proppy, Senzatella's before your time. You don't know shit about Senzatella.
I know I do. His K lines are regularly set at 2.5. He's horrendous.
His K lines are regularly set at 2.5. I'm in. All right, next game. Y'all don't know shit about Senzatella. Y'all about to learn, though. All right, White Sox. Oh, Goatmers. Reed Goatmers on the mound. Shit against the White Sox.
I know. So same thing. I did first 5 run line, focusing on Detmers, who has pitched extremely well since coming back after his 3-month-long hiatus. His first start was against the Dodgers at home. He went 6 innings, struck out 10 guys, only gave up 2 runs, and went on the road in Minnesota. Another GOAT-like performance of 6 innings, 5 hits and 2 runs, 8 strikeouts, 18 strikeouts in 12 innings for Reed Detmers. The Angels are coming off that series against Houston, where honestly, they gave them a lot. I mean, they lost 3-5 I think all 3 games of that. 3-5, 3-5, 4-6. So, and Houston had a late rally on Sunday night as well. So, again, my point is I don't think the Angels are playing that bad. They're losing games, but they're losing games to Houston, Minnesota, Texas. The White Sox are playing teams like Cleveland, Boston, Baltimore, teams that can't hit, Oakland, all teams that just can't hit and that can't do anything. At least the Angels are scoring some runs. So Jonathan Cannon's been somewhat decent this year at times, but his last 3 road starts against an Oakland team that's not hitting right now, he looks decent. He got absolutely throttled against the Giants, and then we all know that Baltimore can't hit to save their life. So he looked good in Baltimore, but I just think that the pitching advantage is too big here. Not to mention that there's a reason that this line is what it is. The White Sox are absolutely terrible, but you guys don't need me to tell you that.
I feel like this would be a fun one to take like a shot and be like exact score after 8 innings 0-0 or like all total under a half run. I like Cannon. I think he's pretty good, but I haven't been paying attention. Toast said the Angels bats have been somewhat formidable, so nothing.
I think, yeah, I agree with that. Yes.
All right. Last game. Oh, Pooh Darvish. Arrighetti versus Yu Darvish in San Diego. Tough to step in front of the Padres right now. This team just refuses to lose.
You said it. Padres money line. Set it and forget it. Another solid price. Oh yeah, please bet the Astros.
No, I'm just saying.
120.
Don't you think that, like, I bet you we're about to pull 90% Padres here.
No, I don't. Well, maybe. I doubt it. Not with Arrighetti on the mound. He's been pretty damn good for them. I mean, maybe we'll find out. What's it at right now?
He just started the poll, so let's see.
I'm
voting Padres myself to make it look worse.
Kind of a weird series just because obviously that's an AL and NL team. Padres are coming home from a little bit of a road trip where they played 2 games in Seattle, but then they were in San Francisco. Short flight. Again, it's the question for me is like how far does Yu Darvish pitch into this game, or how well can Yu Darvish pitch into this game? And I think that he can pitch pretty fine and pretty deep. Not deep into this game. Pretty well as far as his 5 innings. People kept on asking me today how long he was going to pitch. That's in my head because he pitched only 2 2/3 against Detroit. That was his first time out. He went 5 innings against Seattle, giving up 7 hits. So I just think that he needed a start or 2 to get his arm ready, and I think that he'll be fine. So I have no reason to believe you're only going to see 2 or 3 innings against Pooh Darvish today, unless he gets absolutely throttled by this Houston team. But at the same time, I mean, Houston is like more doing a lot of their damage off of bullpen arms. I mean, the last few righty starters out there, say Mitch Spence 2 runs, Joey Estes 2 runs, Slade Ciccone 1 run, Carson Spears 1 run. I mean, they hit up Brandon Pfaadt and Ryan Nelson in that series where everybody was scoring runs. But my point is that I'm just not in a spot where I love what Houston offense is doing right now. I've been watching them a lot lately, and it really felt really more lucky than anything against the Angels. And then again, Spencer Arrighetti, nothing. I don't really have anything bad to say about him. Like I'm not going to come up here and say that he's about to get throttled, the Padres are going to kill him or anything like that. He's been like absolutely fantastic for these guys. He had 1 bad start in Cincinnati where he didn't make it out of the first inning. But prior to that, his previous 2 road starts against Philadelphia and the team that can't hit in Baltimore is 13 2/3 innings. He didn't give up a run and had 17 strikeouts. And you can even go back another start where he pitched well on the road in Boston. So I wouldn't mind an under here either. But we have a team in the Padres that continue to play well. They continue to play well at home. And I do think that they have a bullpen advantage. You're not going to see Josh Hader today. Hector Neris has worked back-to-back days. Caleb Orts worked back-to-back days. Caleb Ferguson's went 17 pitches as well. And if you take a look at the Padres bullpen, you just don't, again, Suarez went last night. He went 19 pitches. He gave up a home run, the first ever opposite field home run to go into the water in San Francisco by Helio Ramos. That was very impressive, but that's because Suarez pitches 100 miles an hour. But regardless, I think that you would see him right back here tonight. That's something that Schulte would do to put him back out there to get that taste out of his mouth. But again, Tanner Scott, Jason Adam, 2 of the last 3 nights, both under 25 pitches. I think Scott has 26. But again, they're going to be available. I don't like Jeremy Estrada anymore, so hopefully he's down. He's worked 2 of the last 3 nights. But my regardless is, as we know, the Padres have the best bullpen in Major League Baseball. It's not even close. They have plenty of guys to use at their disposal. Padres win again tonight.
It's an Astros spot.
Do it.
I'm not going to. I'm cool with my Sensatella bet. But the Astros have been scoring runs, man. I don't know. I don't
Against
know.
who?
I don't know about all that. I was laughing at the Pooh Darvish jokes before. The comments were on fire. Someone called him Pooh garbage. All right, let's go to.
I mean, even as a Padres guy and a Yu Darvish fan, the Pooh Darvish is just too good to like. It's just good.
Well, the first time Prop Beaver said Pooh Darvish in this office, I laughed for like 10 minutes. And like apparently that had been a thing. I'd never seen it before, but he said it in the office.
It was never a thing.
Oh my God, Modi's got the Eagles hat on. All right, let's go Monday Night Football because Modi's got to leave in 11 minutes.
All righty.
Later, Toast.
Young Wei Koo over 1.5 field goals. You're welcome. Have a good night, guys.
We got it. We got your stupid ass field goal bet.
Oh, he's a primetime field goal guy, huh?
Oh, he loves no, not just primetime. Anytime.
All the times?
All the time. He loves the field goal bets, and every time I try to make fun of them, he hits them. So,
I mean, I get it.
So Prop Beaver's going to come on the screen.
What's underground? Is that his location?
I don't think he shares his Twitter, or I don't even know if he officially has one. It's tough to keep up.
I mean, he's just so busy these days.
He doesn't have a Twitter, but then he'll like read it like, "Yo, did you guys see on Twitter?" I'll be like, wait, how did you see it?
I don't share my Twitter. That's all. That's all. I have a Twitter just for interpreting data, not for sharing data.
Just for interpretation.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Atlanta, Philly. Matt Modi is wearing a giant Eagles hat. Is this indicative of an Eagles -5.5 bet?
I didn't bet the spread. Whenever I talk about the Eagles on a stream, I have to wear the hat.
You don't have to.
No, I don't make the rules. Sorry, I have to.
Okay. All right.
I would lean towards the Eagles covering the spread, but I wouldn't actually bet it. I don't know. I'm a little bit nervous. The no AJ Brown thing, like we haven't seen Jalen Hurts play good football without AJ Brown, and I'm like, I get that one receiver shouldn't make that big of a deal, especially when they have so much other talent, especially like they could just lean on the running game. But the one game we saw he played without AJ Brown was the playoff loss against the Bucks last year when like they had a ton of things wrong other than that. So it's hard to really know. I also like Kirk Cousins couldn't move last week, like literally couldn't move. They didn't run a single play action pass. He also was the only quarterback that didn't attempt to pass beyond 20 yards like of ADOT. So like, is that going to be magically fixed in a week? I don't know. Like, and you felt that with the offense, like they didn't even bother running anything deep. Everything was just so condensed. So you have to believe they're going to try and open it up. And maybe it just took a week for him to just like get confident, but I don't know. There's too much unknown for me personally with the spread. I took 2 player props. And this was before the AJ Brown news. It just makes me like it even more. I took Goddard anytime touchdown.
What? Oh,
that's a little bit.
Do we want to hit the song for the anytime touchdown?
Oh, there's an anytime touchdown song?
Oh.
Anytime, touching it down, scoring and running around. It's the anytime touchdown, scoring. Anytime you need touchdown. Yeah.
What I said, is that Andy Reid?
Essentially.
I took Dallas Goedert anytime touchdown. I took it before the AJ Brown news. I got it at 300. It's now down to plus 225. I took it for a half unit. I would still take it there. This is a little bit of like a dart throw type of play because it's going off of last year's data, which isn't always perfect, but the Raheem Morris was the Rams defensive coordinator last year, and he's now the Falcons head coach. He's running the same scheme. Like I get personnel's different, all that stuff, 100%. But Dallas Goedert, the best game he's had in the last 2 years was in that game against the Rams last year. He had 8 receptions. He had over 100 yards. The only 2 games, like that's the most in the last 20 games. And he scored a touchdown. And they like immediately focused on Goddard to begin that drive. So if they see something similar in terms of like the defensive matchups, my thought was they're going to feature Goddard pretty heavily. And I think he's just, I don't know. Again, this is less analytical than I normally get. It's just more so kind of going off last year. And then the Bijan Robinson thing is like, I don't think Kirk Cousins trusts himself. I think he's just going to check it down a ton. Like Bijan led the team in receptions last week. He was second in both targets and yards. I just think that's going to happen again. I got it at plus 116. It got nuked all the way down to minus 102. I would honestly still take it at that number. So those are the 2 player props that I officially bet. And then I would lean towards the Eagles covering the spread, but I didn't actually bet that.
I like the Goddard play a lot. In fact, me and Prop Beaver talked about possibly Goddard over receiving yards, Goddard over receptions, something of that capacity. Obviously, you mentioned AJ Brown's out. That's the only. So now Devontae Smith is the only receiver on the Eagles roster that has a catch this year, and the only receiver, one of 2 receivers on the Eagles roster that's ever caught a pass in an Eagles uniform. The other guy his name's Covey, I think. He had
Britton Covey. Yeah, he's their punt returner, Britton Covey.
Covey, yeah, he had 4 catches last year. So other than Devontae Smith, there's Covey, who has 4 catches last year, and then a bunch of receivers that have never caught passes from Jalen Hurts ever in their lives. So a lot of inexperience in terms of the wide receiver position for Philly. Now, the Eagles are not really a team that spreads the ball around to a lot of wide receivers. If you look at their numbers from last year, it was pretty much A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and then tight ends and backs. So it's not the hugest deal, but that's why I especially like Goddard, because Jalen Hurts is going to need them tonight. The game plan for Atlanta defensively is kind of sets itself. I mean, keep an eye on Devontae Smith, keep an eye on Dallas Goedert, and the rest is stopping the run. And that's what I like about the Falcons here is their run defense. They had one of the best run. You could put Falcons plus the points up for me. They had one of the best run defenses in the NFL last year. I mean, I believe they were 4th in yards per carry, 6th in DVOA, something like that. They were one of the best run defenses in the NFL. And you make an argument personnel-wise that they got better. They added Matthew Judon. They have Simmons in the back at safety. Also, Grady Jarrett missed more than half the season last year. He's healthy on the defensive line. I don't think people realize how good the Falcons defense was at stopping the run. Nobody is running the ball in the Falcons last year. So right off the bat, in my opinion, you have a defense that's really well equipped to give this Eagles offense problems. Now, it's the Eagles offense. There's too much talent. I mean, Jalen Hurts is I like Jalen Hurts a lot. I'm sure he'll make some plays. But as a whole, to cover a big number, I don't trust the Eagles offense to not run into problems. I could see an interception or two here from Hurts. But on the other side, look, the Falcons offense with Kirk Cousins in week 1 looked absolutely terrible. I had Steelers plus 3.5 as the top bet. I loved it. But what did Kirk Cousins struggle with specifically? Was pressure. His numbers went under pressure. He was like 5 of 9 with 2 picks and like 60 yards passing when pressured last week. I don't trust the pressure to be there. This Eagles pass rush wasn't great last week. This Eagles pass rush wasn't great last season. They didn't really do a ton to fix that. In terms
Anything
of,
that got worse.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't see any reason to think that this Eagles pass rush isn't going to be bottom 10, bottom 12 in the league again. And the Falcons offensive line, I think, is underrated. They have the same offensive line from last year. Yeah, Desmond Ridder and Taylor Heineke took some sacks. So if you look at sack rate, they're towards the back of the NFL. But if you look at pressure rate, pass blocking grades, some of the more advanced metrics, they're towards the top. Meaning their quarterbacks did their offensive line no favors. If the quarterback holds the ball long enough and takes a sack, that's not the offensive line's fault. I mean, that's on the quarterback. So basically, I think this Falcons offensive line is fully healthy. I think it's underrated, and I think it's able to give Kirk Cousins time. And this Eagles defense, I mean, let's be honest, it wasn't good last year, and it seemed to get worse as the season progressed. The second half of the season. Yeah, I mean, the second half of the season, you can make an argument that the Eagles had the worst defense in football, and that's crazy to even say, but you could make that argument and not be crazy to say that. So I don't trust the Eagles defense to lay a big number here. I actually think Kirk Cousins is going to make some plays. I like the Falcons offense to bounce back. So yeah, Falcons plus 5.5. Prop Beaver.
I got nothing.
Astute analysis there. That's why we pay him the big bucks here.
No, I mean, this
very
is a
compelling.
This is a game with 4 new coordinators. I simply just don't see much value here. Now you got AJ Brown out of the mix. I don't see much value. First 2 weeks of the season have been pretty rough, so sorry to those who have been tailing. Kyler Murray especially deserves an apology. Have been cheating on that dude. Have been saying he hasn't been good since 2020.
Don't apologize to him.
Guy posted a perfect passer rating yesterday, so we'll apologize to him. Coming out for blood in week 3, but yeah, I got nothing. Not forcing anything. Not going to give you guys anything that I'm not personally playing. So yeah, I'm on to week 3. Sorry.
All right. Let's do a poll. Someone asked about the total. So why don't we do a poll over or under?
Why am I here, Mike? I don't know.
He produces the show.
Honest.
That's for starts. So you wouldn't see anything on the screen if he wasn't.
45.5. Yeah, I didn't actually look at the total, to be honest.
Modi, we're going to run a couple polls total and touchdown scores, but you said you had to leave a 4:45. Don't feel pressured to say. You have to
okay.
Leave.
Yeah, all right. I'll hop. But yeah, appreciate you guys for having me on.
Yep.
And have a good one.
Later, man. All right, we're going to go over. Let's do an over-under poll first. So over 45.5, under 45.5. Let's just run it just those two options.
Okay, so over 45.5, under 40.
Yeah, let's just run it. I want to see what the community thinks about the total. Because what are you doing? Just those two options. Just hit the X's. Yeah, there you go.
All right, yeah, I didn't know if you were trying to run the game thing back as well.
No, because everyone's going to vote for a side. Let's make them vote only for the total so we could see. Mm-hmm. I kind of think it's an over game, but you know what? I should say over. I shouldn't let last year's insane Monday Night Football under trend sway me off and over here. That's what kind of cost me a few dollars last week. I took the under in the Jets 49ers, and I wasn't even crazy about it. I couldn't really I kind of like the Jets, but not really. And I was like, whatever. I'll throw a few dollars on the under. Monday Night Football unders always hit. And that stupid thinking cost me 0.75 units because – so I think we need to erase those 11 consecutive unders on Monday Night Football, whatever that crazy shit was that happened last year. I think we just need to erase that because I actually think this points towards an over. I'm not betting it, though.
I mean, sure. I have no clue.
I don't know how you take an under in a Philadelphia Eagles game, honestly.
The Eagles, if you want one opinion of mine, the Eagles defense is a pile of dog shit.
It's a strong offense with a terrible defense.
But that's my problem. I don't know how you bet a game with Kirk Cousins right now. At all. I don't know how you put any money in a Kirk Cousins game. His Achilles looks horrible. I mean, he just simply could not plant. He could not plant on his throwing leg last week. I don't know how you bet a football game with that.
Fine. He's fine.
He's fine. He's fine. He can't run play action, but he's fine.
Probably was like, he could not plant. He could not plant.
So it's either you're either betting on a quarterback who can't throw or you're betting on one of the worst defenses I've ever seen. So that, in my opinion, just a clear pass.
All right, let's do a touchdown score. The community's leaning towards the under.
Okay, so anytime TDs.
I mean, I don't really know how to choose the thing because people were really pissed that we didn't choose the right options last time.
Okay, yeah, geez.
We only could choose. YouTube only lets us put 4 in the poll. If it was up to us, we'd have 10 in there. You can choose whatever the fuck you want.
Well, I think people like plus money, right? People like plus money. Nobody wants like a minus 150 touchdown score. That'd be whack.
Dallas Goedert is plus 200. Put that one in there because I like that
Mike Maddock,
one.
you know what I meant. Obviously, his throwing leg is not what I meant. His planting leg. Jesus, Mike Maddock. Fucking
he could not plant.
You fucking dick. Okay, so what were you saying, Kyle?
Dallas Goedert plus 200.
Okay, Goddard plus 200.
Devontae Smith plus 140. Let's put it in there. Drake London plus 205. And I guess we should put Kyle Pitts. And we'll leave out Bijan and Saquon Barkley.
What is Pitts' price?
Kyle Pitts is plus 225.
I mean, honestly, those are the top 4 receiving options right there.
Yeah, and we'll leave out Saquon and Bijan Robinson are both are minus.
Yeah, so let's hope for some passing TDs right there.
Let's hope for it.
Yeah,
It could happen.
Hey, let's hope.
He cannot plant.
No, but I mean, dude, seriously, in a game where
he's medically cleared to play in the NFL, bro. They don't just throw him out there. He was cleared by a doctor. He can plant.
Honestly, bro,
I guarantee you, Kirk Cousins can plant.
Bro, listen, I think I could plant better than him right now. I think I could outplant him.
Plant for shit,
I don't think
bro.
I could do many things better than Kirk, but I could plant some silly right now. I could plant circles around him. I don't think he could plant for shit right now. I've been putting in my time at the gym, and I don't think he could plant right now.
I could plant circles around him.
I could plant circles around him, dude. My calves are honestly probably way bigger than his.
After this, one last poll before we leave is going to be, can Kirk Cousins plant?
I don't think he could plant.
Who would win in a plant-off?
I don't think he could freaking plant, dude.
It's just like... He cannot plant. All right. Follow my picks, says S. Dot. Yeah, if you want to take major L's.
All right, so who is our community touchdown? We were 1 yard away from Jalen Waddle cashing that for us the last time out, guys. That was brutal.
It looks like they're leaning towards Devontae Smith, by the way.
I like that. I mean, he's probably got AJ Terrell on him, but whatever.
Do we want to do one more poll with the passing yards poll, the 2 quarterbacks over and under, and we'll call it?
Sure. If people want that, or a plant poll. No, yeah, let's do that. Wait, let me type in first community TD so people understand what that is. Community TD. Yeah,
I mean, it's kind of hard to argue with the Devontae Smith because the amount of targets he's probably going to get.
The guy's a dog.
But at the same time, kind of easy to game plan. Dude, just someone guard, make sure Devontae Smith doesn't get over.
That was my argument with like Justin Jefferson yesterday. It's like, oh, well, dude, the 49ers defense has to be able to shut him down. They let the dude have a house call. So, like, what the hell is that about? Okay, all right, so passing yards.
Jalen Hurts, higher or over 227.5. And Jalen Hurts under 227.5. And then we got Kirk Cousins over 227.5. Gift.
Wait, they have the same exact line?
No, 227.
What
Oh,
was the-
shit. They have the same exact line. Wow. See? And y'all sleeping on Kirk. It's Kirk coming back party. Cast your votes. What's the best passing prop on the board here? I'm going Cousins over. I'm getting involved in this poll.
Somebody's saying that the same shit I was talking about Kyler is what I'm doing about Kirk Cousins. No, not at all. I'm one of
Agreed.
the biggest Kirk Cousins fans on the planet. Kyler Murray, I had actual data showing that he stunk. And then yesterday, out of nowhere, he put on one of the biggest clinics of all time. What am I supposed to do?
Exactly. And then rinse, lather, repeat.
No.
Kirk Cousins tonight.
No.
He's going to plant all over the field tonight.
What if he plants so hard today, he comes out of his shoe and makes just a hell of a throw, like a 90-yard dot across his field? Then I'll have to just...
You're going to hear Troy Aikman like, this is some of the best planting I've seen in recent NFL
I'll tell
history.
you what, Kirk's really planting today. The difference in
Buck and Aikman, right?
today's game is the way the
It's Buck
Kirk's
and
planted.
Aikman. Oh, yeah, Troy's going to be like, there's some really good planting going on out there.
Hey, man, I want Kirk to prove it to me today. Show me you can plant.
S. Says, I think I saw Toast take Koo over 1.5 field goals. Yeah, he was on earlier, and he gave that out. That was, damn, Sauce convincing me on Cousins. I mean, he looked terrible last week. I do think Kirk Cousins bounces back, whether it happens tonight in week 2. But he struggled with pressure last week. Last year, he was the number one, literally first in the NFL in passer rating when pressured. Nobody handled pressure better than Kirk Cousins last season. Now, he's coming off an injury, but I think, honestly, a bigger part of it than the injury is the fact that he's never played with these receivers before. And in dealing with pressure, it's not so much a physical thing, it's decision-making. You got to make quick decisions, and being on the same page mentally as your wide receivers is big. So maybe a game under his belt that starts to improve. I think it'll definitely improve as the season progresses. But look, it's week 2. I don't know if it happens here, but I still stand on the fact that I don't think the Eagles defense is good enough where you should be laying big numbers with them. I mean, this was one of the worst defenses in the NFL second half of last season, and I don't think they showed us anything in the opener to change that. I mean, what the Packers averaged, 7.5 yards per carry against them? Who's stopping Bijan on this team? And yeah, I'm on the point too. Who won the passing poll?
I'll say this: if a gun was to my head, a Glock 40's to my head, I would lean your side. But just because the inner sharp in me, but I don't know. The inner sharp in me also led me to Will Levis yesterday, and God, that guy.
Someone said, "Can I get a line on the number of times they mention how much Hurts can squat?" That is one of their main talking points. They talk about that shit a lot.
Yeah, say at least we don't mention that.
All right.
We're classy.
So who won the poll? You got to hit end poll.
Oh yeah. See,
you're gonna have to end poll. Let the computer decide. Hurts over.
Hurts over, baby.
But second place was Hurts under. So it doesn't. People just don't like Kirk.
Rajan, what kind of vitamins am I taking? Probiotics and super veggies.
No, the vitamin he's taking is called OBS filter.
No. Oh.
Watch, turn the filter off. Show him how it really looks. He's trying to look tan.
Well, the problem is I haven't been able to go outside lately. I've been in the stew.
Nobody has. We're adults.
I know. All right. You want to see me without my filter on?
Ew, bro.
Who am I?
You should leave it off, bro. You look like a freak with it on.
Well, honestly, yeah, I actually do like this better, so.
Yeah, I don't know why you had it on. You look crazy. I thought you had it on by accident.
So I did have it on by accident. We'll just rock with this from now on. Thank you, guys.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll be back same time tomorrow. Yeah, let's go Falcons. Later.